got a little bit further into Pragmata, and that game continues to be excellent. Two things that are interesting that have happened are, one, the introduction of the crystal lizard into this game.
Really?
I hate it. There are crystal lizards, effectively. There's a thing that there's a little drone that can appear that has a lot of rewards if you can hack it, and it moves around the environment very quickly, and it runs away. And if you can't track it down or hack it or like handle it while the threats are all around you or whatever, it eventually goes away and disappears. You know, like an RPG when you run into like a gold slime or whatever. But reloading
like
the area,
slime.
reloading the area does not guarantee you will see it again. In fact, nothing does, because it might not even ever appear for you. It appears to be entirely RNG based.
Oh, that's awesome, actually.
I hate that. I really don't like that.
You just want your rewards for free, Woolie?
I don't like the fact that it's just complete dice roll on it.
Here's the thing, right? And I know where you're coming from on this, but my heart was hardened years ago to a much, much, much worse version of this, which you technically interacted with, but not really.
The original Crystal Lizard?
In the Demon Souls Crystal Lizard.
Yeah.
Right? When we did that stream a long time ago, some people dropped weapons, but we also knew where we wanted to aim you for, right? The Crystal Lizards in Demon Souls run off cliffs and kill themselves and only spawn a certain number of times.
Yes. Horrendous.
Which is by far the worst version of that mechanic I've ever seen.
Yeah, that is horrendous, right? That shit sucks. You have to know.
So everything after that just feels like, oh, that's nice.
You have to know, because it's basically, it's New Game Plus only, right? You have to come in with prior knowledge. There are things where if you play either, I forget if it was Persona 5 or Metaphor, but like in those games, I want to say, like, once per dungeon, you'll come across these big reward things, you know, and if you don't get it, like, you can come back in, but it's essentially, it's once per day outing, so that's going to cost you on your calendar. I feel like, if it's something like that where it's hard enough, and in this case, like, I didn't get either of them. Like, I encountered it twice while I was playing, and the second one was while in the middle of some insane environmental bullshit on the map. And I missed it, reloaded it, and it was gone. And it's just like, you don't know if it's ever going to come back. And even after you get it, you still don't know, when or how you're going to see it. And I'm like, it led to me kind of having a little bit of a discussion where I'm like, I don't want to go, we don't have to go into the full of it, but I'm like, I think there's a part of me that fundamentally hates the concept of RNG.
By a part of you, do you mean from the top hair on your head to the end of the bottom of your toes?
Yeah, because there are examples of it when I enjoy it and it's fun, and like, if it's a deck of cards where I'm like, I know something's coming eventually, but probability is what I'm fucking with.
Yeah, no, that's not RNG. Even.
No, it is.
You are a probabilistic determiner. You play games and have discussions based on eliminating risk and variation so that you can get to the right answer.
And
you are like the perfect information games that you love are like the antithesis of real RNG.
Because I don't want what I was kind of describing to Reggie at the time was like, I don't want the universe. I don't want to control the universe and let the chaos of that be the that's not what I'm gonna find fun. What I find fun is my mental stack and my own limitations being overwhelmed. When you put too much shit for me to handle and I can't deal with it yet, and I have to get better at overcoming my own ability to manage the amount of shit that's going on, or be quick enough, or be whatever the case is, that to me is like the core of where my enjoyment is coming from. So it's not about the fact that, I took a shot at this and there was a 7% chance it was always going to miss no matter what because of the dice roll on it, right? But that doesn't, what I'm describing that is fun to me, it doesn't work when a game is very, very turn-based and it's not about timing at all or anything like that.
Yeah.
When you have to when you have to wait for, well, no, you have forever, but when you play this, you don't know what's going to happen next. So I understand the concept, but it's a fundamental thing with me where I'm just like, I don't like a hard random percentage on this that it just is, that's locked in no matter what, you know?
So you are a victim of your own mindset.
I guess.
I would assume that when the Pragmata people put that in, they're like, oh, here's a little bonus. You get out of the trash can. There's a little bonus you can get sometimes if you're really quick, but we've designed the game around you maybe never getting them right. Have I told you the mental process of how rested experience works in World of Warcraft?
Yeah. When you rest, that was a huge backlash, because when you rest, you would get less. And
yeah, you would start at 100%, you'd go to 50% XP. So they changed it to 200% and 50% on the dash. They changed it from a penalty to a bonus. And I assume Pragmata presents these things as a bonus, but you have too much of information on how games actually work, and you correctly recognize it as actually a penalty for missing it.
And the thing, and like the rewards of you know what you're not going to get access to there are better weapons, better skills, better things to improve your build faster and get the things you want to enjoy doing more with your character. And I'm and again, it's like it's hardly a huge deal. It's just I know my reward structures, and what I find fun are like, I have all the tools in front of me, I just can't fucking use them fast enough because my brain is like, right? It's like you're that feeling of trying to overcome that and like coming back in to assess is enough of a challenge that like something just happening to be red or green underneath when I flip it over, is the ball under the cup, I'm like, that I don't need that. You know.
So it's interesting because when I run into crystal lizard type situations, my process is fundamentally different from the way you're describing it. My process is the lizard is mandatory, surviving the encounter is not. So I will see the lizard or whatever equivalent and go, oh, I gotta get that. And that becomes the number one priority.
Yes.
So I get it every time. And then actually surviving the encounter that's Now's problem.
Yes. Because also if you died before the lizard died, you were fine. Right?
Yes.
If you died before the lizard dropped off and killed itself,
it didn't count as a death for the lizard. Yeah.
Yes. So exactly. So there is that makes perfect sense, because now your death is the disposable thing 100, because the priority is the thing that will never be received again. Yeah. I never want that to be the case. I never want there to be a permanent like fucking one shot eat shit, you know? But this is a unhealthy medium I think we've landed on with the crystal lizard returning. Probably. And like I said, there already are illusory walls that popped up in one session, and I went, ugh.
I saw that in my sponsored section, and I was like, oh boy, fucking illusory walls, here we go.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not opposed to the idea, but like if you can scan them or get a little bit of something going, fine, let it be observation based. And then the second thing is, and you know what, and I will say too, that like there will always be a part of me that is, Let's Playing has definitely warped this a bit more, so this is not like the average person's experience.
I would say.
Well, no, the idea that like I like to be able to do as much as I can in my first run.
Yes,
but I like doing this even when I'm not on camera, right? And this is part of me being not much of a replayer. This is me being like, I want to get a really good experience out of playing this game, and
then kind of lock that into place.
Yeah, and this is what that game was exactly, and as we play a lot of them, there's a lot of games I'm never gonna play again for sure. You're right. If like it's not even me not being a replayer. There's a lot of games where I'm like, yeah, I enjoyed it, but it was fine. I'm not gonna go back to it. So getting that full experience out of it, getting the full meal and tasting all the things that it had going, so you can like talk about like, oh yeah, well there was this cool little side bit over here, or this extra bit over there, this boss that was fun. That all of that gives you a really good understanding of what the experience was when you walk away from it, instead of like the trimmed fat version
Yeah,
so.
no, there's one game I can think of that I did this with, and pretty much only the one, which is when I went through Silent Hill F, and I got everything. I did everything. I did it all. And I have the title screen on the post-game title screen for getting the final ending. And I'm like, man, I am never going to touch that fucking game again. After going through it 4.5 times in a row to see everything. Never.
Even in Elden Ring's case, it's like, except for the places where the game forces you to pick its choices. Like, I definitely tried to get a nice bloated, not scraping, but bloated single shot run out of this, one and done. But the other thing that was interesting is a gun that gets introduced called Code Launcher, and it is simply a gun that shoots a wave out, and that adds more hacking nodes to the grid.
Oh, weird.
It replaces your other, power-ups or whatever, and it just puts more damage nodes on the grid. So you can imagine, just let your brain take you where that goes as a potential way to play the game, as a possibility. And I'm like, okay, that's an option.
Interesting.
And it goes on your right side item slot, so it doesn't get in the way of your damage dealing weapons.
Good.
Sick. Super duper interesting mechanical introduction. You've got a tool to shrink the hacking grid, and you've got a tool to fill it with more damage nodes. Pick which one you want.
Interesting.